beautiful area here in Yuma, Arizona.
Displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the parks professor.
This hike is going to be a little different than usual, so I'll explain exactly what we're doing here in a minute. But we are at Colorado River State Historic Park, and this is the old Yuma Quartermaster's Depot. This is the official house here. This is where military goods were stored, things like uniform, ammunition, that sort of thing, to be distributed throughout forts in the American West back in the late 1800s. The storehouse itself is the building that you see off in the distance there, partially behind the trees. This is the official building where official transactions were made and kept. Over here, these are the officers' quarters, where the military men who ran this depot lived. This is a very interesting site. We're in Yuma, Arizona. And so I'm going to walk around and explore this historic site a little bit, and then we'll get underway with the hike. We've made it out of the first historic site. And so let me do a formal introduction and then tell you a little bit about what's going on with this hike here. I do want to belatedly welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the parks professor. We are in Yuma, Arizona, and we just walked through the old Army Depot, which you can see the roof of it just over the hill there. Today is Friday, February the 16th, and the temperature right now is a very pleasant 61 degrees, but it's southern Arizona and the sun's out, so that's going to increase rather rapidly here. The plan for this hike, there are two historic sites here in Yuma. There's the old Army Depot, which we just walked around, and then a mile and a half east of here along the river is the old Territorial prison. And so what we're going to do is we're going to combine those two historic sites with a walk along the riverfront here in downtown Yuma. Grand total, it's going to be a little over 3 miles once you factor in the walking through the historic sites. And so we started at the depot, we're headed for the prison. Let's get headed there. I mentioned we were walking along the Yuma riverfront. And this, in fact, is the Colorado River. Doesn't seem like much down here, but this water has come a long ways. This river starts up in the mountains of Colorado and comes down through the Grand Canyon. And at this point, it's only a few miles from entering Mexico. So a very scenic spot here in the desert. That's the Interstate 8 bridge up there that crosses the river. And therefore California is only a few yards away here. So this is a scenic spot. Let's keep heading up towards the prison. We've passed under 3 bridges. The Interstate Bridge I showed you before, and then 2 other bridges, an old steel road bridge and then a railroad bridge. And we have basically made it down to the Territorial prison. Sorry for the break there. The Territorial prison is up at the top of this hill right there. And this trail is going to take us up there. Alright, so we are in the Territorial prison now. Dates to 1875, obviously. Pan around here and show you the guard tower. The interesting thing about this prison, so this was actually one of the nicer prisons for its day. They fed the prisoners well. They actually taught the prisoners trades and that sort of thing, which was very unusual for back in the late 1800s. That's the parking lot for people who drive instead of walk down here. The prison's now a museum, so I'm going to go and walk around inside the museum a little bit. Finally, we climbed up to the guardhouse, and this is the view of the prison from up here in the guardhouse. Keep panning here to the left. I'll show you one other view. This is the view east across the desert. Again, that's the Colorado River you see down there. Beautiful area here in Yuma, Arizona. Alright, so to finish this hike, we are going to walk back along the Riverside bike path back to the old depot. I walked around the old cell block area, which is interesting. Supposedly it's haunted, but I didn't see or feel anything paranormal there. Although this has been an unusual hike, but an interesting hike. We are almost back to the Army Depot now. Also did some nice birding down here. Saw some cardinals and some other birds attracted to the river, which is just off to my right going this direction. It's a nice way to see these two historical parks. One downside to doing things this way is that you do have to pay at both parks. So I paid $10 admission at each of these state parks. In some states, if you pay state park admission once, then that's good for the entire day and at every state park, but not here in Yuma. I do want to thank you for watching. Parking full time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. Also, as a reminder, I do not make any monetary compensation for anything that I do for this project. And therefore, the only thing that I get for doing these videos are your likes, your subscribes, your views, and your comments, and I do appreciate all of those things. So I'm going to close out this video. There's the old, the water reservoir, actually, for the old Army Depot up there. Until next time, I am Big Dave, the Parks Professor for Parking Full Time. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.